And today, as you can see here, I have taken the liberty of posting a Bergdorf Goodman box behind the scents and a card. I do that purposefully because I have made an acquaintance here on YouTube, and this says, "Hey Chris, please enjoy these samples and let me know if you need anything. My clients are well taken care of. Best, Elaton." Now, if many of you guys know, Elaton is a fragrance reviewer who started out with Simply Put Scents in the early, not early, but mid-17s, mid-teens of Fragcom. And he's been a good guy ever since I've known him. I watched him with Tiff Benson. I watched him do his own thing. And he started back up his channel, and he's doing it from Bergdorf as a ambassador, seller, basically someone who really has a knowledge of everything going on at Bergdorf and Perfumery. And he has stated on his channel many times to reach out, and he comes through. He actually is the supplier of each one of these scent profiles and samples for free of cost. I, of course, if I will be purchasing these, I will be purchasing these fragrances through him, so that this can be a reciprocating friendship. But as of right now, if you guys have any questions, look up Simply Put Scents on YouTube or Elaton. Good dude. He has a lot going on, so he probably won't reach out back to you for a couple days. So if you text him, just let him know that you heard from the Dry Down, Chris at the Dry Down, that he's a stand-up dude and he will come through for you. Let's give him some let's get him some paper, let's get him some money. We buy these fragrances. Let's not forget who the community is. Let's make sure we purchase some things from some of our good people. So let's dive in to the quick sampling. I'm gonna do a quick spray on some blotters really fast. Nothing on skin. I don't have time to put on skin today or the space. This is gonna be Kilian's Angel Sheer Paradise. My first impression on Paradise, I'm going to say, literally, this is a scent that smells very close to the original, very close to the OG. What I'm experiencing here off the first few seconds of the fragrance is a scent that very much so recalls or has a recollection of memory to me of the scent Smoking Hot with a little mixture of the OG Angel Sheer. It has that hookah smoke vibe, that very strong rum vibe that they used in Smoking Hot. I guess that's the new Paradise. While not bad, the beginning of it to me right now is, I would say, redundant, very close to the OG, maybe a little more fruitier. So my first impression on this one is, as an enjoyer of the original, I had some reserves about the original when I first smelled it, because I was on the hype train, or the train of Wojan from Parfums de Marly as one of the best cinnamon apple fragrances. I was reluctant to give the original a shot, and when I did, I was like, yeah, this is not good as Wojan. But then when I smelled it in the air on someone and then ultimately gave it a shot and stopped being stubborn, I was able to see that that was a very beautiful scent, and it is one of my most complimented fragrances in my collection. I cannot see why this would not be one as well. It's a very sexy, fruity fragrance that has a lot of appeal to it. And I think this will be a good seller. I don't know, at the $385 price point, it's worth that in the essence of purchasing against the original, because the scent to me, as the scent strip sits now, feels very similar. But that's just the first impression. I will see how the scent actually dries down. So let's see. I'll give it a few moments to dry down. Angel Sheer Paradise. Next, let's have a scent smell of Spiritueuse Double Vanille. Now, the thing about Spiritueuse Double Vanille for me is that while being a very sexy fragrance to me, I'm kind of like burning myself out on vanillas, which is one thing. And then secondly, The way Spiritueuse Double Vanille came off to me when I first smelled it years ago, and I haven't smelled it in quite some time, is that it smelled of, and I brought the fragrances to attention for this, ivory root, the OG ivory root from the House of Xerjoff, the Join the Club collection ivory root. Very, very similar to me in its profile. I always equated Join the Club as a scent that was heavy in vanilla, spices, and sandalwood. And to me, Guerlain's Spiritueuse Double Vanille really does strike the same match. While not being one-to-one, I think that it is a purchase-worthy scent because this ivory root back in the day was one of my most coveted purchases when I first started the niche, because I fell in love with the scent profile. And it was one that was very, very sexy, along with stuff like Neo and some of the Kilians that were out back then. Oud. I was just diving into Xerjoff as a house, and it was, I must say, a phenomenal house to dive into. As you guys know, since those days, I've collected maybe 35 bottles of Xerjoff. So as this one stands, yes, I think that the scent Spiritueuse Double Vanille is definitely one to keep on my radar. Even though I'm burning myself out on vanillas, I will keep that in mind, and that it has a close similarity, not one-to-one or a dupe, but it always rung a bell that this one smelled like it, or just a little bit even better to me. But as the scent now in the new Guerlain bottles, this one smells pretty good. I'm going to put that one on skin and see how that one smells. So that Spiritueuse Double Vanille looks like something I'm willing to go back into and purchase. Next up, let's see about Guerlain's Angelique Noire. Let's put that over there. Now, Angelique Noire is one that I hear a lot of people gravitating towards nowadays. It's one that I always was told by the essays was a feminine scent, so I never put my nose on it. But I'm curious, with the evolution of my nose and my journey, if this is something that I am curious or even willing to purchase for the greenness. Now, I will say this. This fragrance is a very beautiful, becoming green gabardine, white floral, and vanilla fragrance to me. I do know that the vanilla is a part of this, that Guerlain that they use. I also know that this is a fragrance that is heavy in the green gabardine, and I believe it has some white florals and some fleshy fruits. If I recall properly, they're not citrus fruits, but the scent profile takes me to feminine jasmine and pear smells, like the scent of something very feminine is in the opening of this one. So this one is, for me, not going to be a quick purchase. I think this one would have to be something I wear on skin and have a specific, very specific reason to wear. The femininity on this one is just too high for me right now. You know, I'm just now, as you guys know, getting into aldehydic fragrances, which is the journey. I've always thought that aldehydic fragrances were too feminine for me, because the recollection was towards my mom and grandmother, who would wear fragrances that had a lot of aldehydic scent profile inside of them. And so for this one, it does not have aldehydes, but it's a very clean white or green fruit. I'm going to say something like quince or pear was in this one. That's what it smells of. Very beautiful fragrance. I won't give it anything other than beauty. I think this would be well worn on any woman. This would be a top 10 scent for any woman because it does smell that good. But for me, I would have to say this is not a purchase right now. I'd have to wear it on skin and see how that comes. So that's Angelique Noire. How that smells to me is good. 10 but feminine. Next up, let's try the scent. What do we have here? This is Tobacco Honey. Now, I have tried Tobacco Honey when it was released. I was impressed with the scent profile, but the reason I did not gravitate toward purchasing it at the time, even though I liked the scent profile, it reminded me too close of fragrances in my collection at that point. So and it still does. Two fragrances that immediately come to mind are fragrances from the house of Xerjoff. Once again, one is Ceylon. Now, if you've heard me speak of Ceylon as an aromatic, sexy fragrance with oud. This one here is, to me, the equivalent of what Ceylon smells like as a feral honey scent. But the oud in that one it makes it better for me. You know I love oud, so the oud in that one makes it a lot better for me versus this one. This one, I would wear this, yes. Would I purchase this? Quite frankly, if I found it at a discount, I would wear this. So yes, I probably would buy it for like at 3/4 of the price of retail. But establishing this in my collection, I don't think it would go far because of how I enjoy wearing Ceylon now. Also, one I did have some peculiarity about, or intrigue about, I should say, is a scent from the house by Kilian. And this is a travel atomizer of my scent, Gold Night. I don't know if you can read that there, but Gold Night is probably unreadable. There we go. Gold Night is a patchouli, anise, aniseed. And that's another note I think that is inside of the Guerlain tobacco honey and anise. Now these two, to me, as I smelled Ceylon and now I smell Gold Night, the same scent profile. And so it's very close while not being a redundant purchase. It's like the in-between. So two fragrances that I actually own, have, and wear, have some significant appeal to them. Like I said, Ceylon from Xerjoff, and then the scent Gold Night. So Gold Night has the aniseed, patchouli, honey mix. And each one of these fragrances, including the Ceylon, all have the same honey accord. And so you have to be one who really thoroughly enjoys the honey accord in fragrances to enjoy this one. And I must say, frankly, I do. So I'm going to wear this one on skin. Like I said, it's not like Spiritueuse, where I immediately think I want to buy. This is more like, let me give it a chance on my skin and see how this unfurls, how it wears, how it evolves on my skin, and gives my skin chemistry a push. But it's good. I like it. I do. I think it's a worthy one because, like I said, it sits right in the cycle between two fragrances that I truly adore. So yeah, I'll give that one a shot on skin. Next one, Patchouli Paris, is one that I smelled during the Christmas season, and I had Elatine pack that one up for me because I was curious, again, to see if it smelled like I remember, because during that time I was doing a lot of shopping for myself and others, and even though it caught my nose at the moment, it might have been just something in the moment, so to speak. And so today, yeah, I truly enjoy what it is that Patchouli Paris does. Patchouli Paris is a one in the line. I would say this, don't get me wrong when I say this, it's not a redundant fragrance, and it's not a fragrance that directly appeals to those who enjoy fragrances like Portrait of a Lady or Incense Oud or Royal Incense. It, to me, comes off as an incensey patchouli rose fragrance, truly and honestly, but with that Guerlain inside of it. I don't know if it's mentioned in the notes that the Guerlain is inside of it, but it has that sweet vanilla Guerlain scent that comes off very well. And I like this. I like the way it made my skin, how it made the scent come off my skin, the sillage, the projection was just right. It was very ethereal, as I like my incenses, but with a little bit of push to it, great projection on this one. And if I recall, it developed more into the earthy greenness of patchouli, which is my favorite style of patchouli. Not so much that I don't like the cakey patchoulis. I actually do like that. I love it, actually. But my preference is the green, earthy facets that come off certain patchoulis, and this one has that in spades. So that one is definitely a pickup immediately, almost, for me. That's very, very nicely done. So, but that's just me testing right now, and I will wear that on the skin as well. Patchouli Paris for that one. And last on this list is one that I have not smelled. This one is, and I'm reading it right, I don't even know the name of this one, no notes or anything. This is Neroli Plein Sud. So this has to be a very new one, because I thought the newest one was a peach fragrance that they released, but I guess this is one as well, because I've never heard of this ever. I might be wrong, and it just was never in the zeitgeist, and I never took a chance to even look at it. But the way this one comes off, let's see very quickly. Now, that ain't bad. It's Neroli. That's Neroli. If you guys are enjoyers of Neroli fragrances, very clean, very soapy, but this one, I could tell off the rip, it's a different take on that clean, soapy Neroli Portofino Neo vibe that many of us love and adore for our summer high heat fragrances. I think that's it right now off the rip. Very pleasant opening of Neroli citruses. I'm getting, and I hate to do this, but in order to give you guys some relevancy, I'm thinking in my collection, and a lot of these, while being not purposely, these do have a lot of coincidental notes and structures that I'm smelling from fragrances that I am very familiar with, and one being the scent Kobe from the House of Xerjoff. Now, that's one fragrance that not anybody talks about, but I love wearing that scent as a transition fragrance from spring to summer, especially on cool days, because that fragrance has oud and Brazilian rosewood, spices, neroli, and petitgrain. To me, that's what I'm picking up in this particular scent with this Neroli Plein Sud, and it's very nice. I think I can very much so rotate toward this one in my spring and summer rotation. It's not flat, it's very enveloping, even off the paper. I smell spices, I smell beautiful citruses, I smell white florals that come off masculine, clean. This is a resort fragrance, this is a vacation fragrance, and this is actually, quite frankly, I would love to see and tell you guys about the 30-minute dry down and further, but this one right now, very clean. As I state, if you're into Neroli, you have to be into Neroli. Neroli is a very, I can't say very, it's one of those notes, as you guys know, that just, it comes off soapy. So if you don't like soapy fragrances or soapy perfumes, you're not going to be like, yeah, this is a nose killer. You know, some of us have to grow into these notes, and this one here is perfectly unisex. You know, it's not one leaning masculine or feminine, just like Neroli Portofino does. You know, it has that scent profile that just comes off clean, well kept, well put together, gentleman or lady, for a summertime fragrance as of right now. And it's nicely done. Yeah, Neroli Plein Sud. I'm going to look up the notes and probably put them in the actual show description down below, but for right now, where it stands as a recap, I do like the scent Spiritueuse Double Vanille. Let's start at the beginning. The Paradise, to me, not a buy. I don't think I'll be buying that fragrance because it's too redundant to the original, too redundant to the scent profile of the original, and it kind of smells like smoking hot to me, even now after a few minutes of dry down. I smell smoking hot, so I'm not going to buy that one. Not even interested. Guerlain Spiritueuse Double Vanille. The dry down is creamier, not as smoky as the opening, so a lot more creamier, but not as smoky. So it's not as smoky as Ivory Root, which I like about that one. So that one's on a some sort of a, I'd say 7, 8 out of 10 on the buy list. Then we got Noire. What is that? Angelique Noire. Now, Angelique Noire, I think this would be perfect for a gift for your lover. You guys, if you have a woman in your life that loves to smell beautiful, pretty, I'm telling you, if you have a woman in your life that wants to smell pretty, my God, this is the one to get for. I'm telling you, you're going to head over heels when you smell it on her too. This is a very pretty, dainty lady wearing this. This is a woman who wants to look and feel her best when she's on your arm, and she will smell phenomenal. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Let's see about Tobacco Honey. Just a quick caveat for you guys. The next series of perfumes that I will probably be sampling with you will be the Roja Dove series from Pierre de Belay. I really think Pierre de Belay does some phenomenal fragrances. So it's 5 in each set. I'll try my best to get through all 10. I think when I ordered the set, at different points they are redundant fragrances, so I'll have to check that. But you have scents like Essence Rare, you have PDV 56, you have PDV 47. So yeah, I can't wait to talk about these from the House of Roja, the Pierre de Belay series of perfumes. Looking forward to that in the next First Impression series. Tobacco Honey is one I still want to test on skin. I like it. I think it's worthy of a scent profile to go in the collection, but I'm not as sold on it as I am the Patchouli Paris or the Spiritueuse. So I think that one's going to be like a 6 to 7 out of 10 for a pickup. Patchouli Paris, I don't have to look at that. I know I like that one. I knew that when I sprayed it on. That's going to be a 9 out of 10 to pick up. And then Plein Sud. So I like these. One, Plein Sud, Neroli Paris, Beautiful for the Lady, and iffy. And this one too, kind of iffy, because I got so many vanilla fragrances, guys. But these two, Patchouli Paris and Plein Sud, seem like they are some winners to me. So I'll be contacting Alatin after wearing these bottles of fragrances if I decide to purchase. And that will be a great way to start that relationship with him and reciprocate the love back and forth between he and I, because I think that's important for us to do, especially in this community, to give support to those that give support to us. And it was frankly impeccable customer service to receive back, because I only asked him for Paradise because he said he would do that on one of his videos, and for him to take note of the fragrances that I wanted to at least sample. And I told him I did want to kind of compare it to Spiritueuse, and him sending over ones that I did not even ask for. I think I asked for one more, but I can't remember which one it was. But he ended up selling 5 of these decants to me and 1 Kilian. So that's great. So reach out to Alatin. He puts his number on the videos. I can't remember offhand. His YouTube channel is Alatin and or Simply Put Scents, man. Reach out to him if you want to and tell him Chris sent you from the Dry Down. You guys have a blessed day, and I will talk to you in the next video.